And that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody knew him in amateurs.
One thing I can say, though, because I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Tio can fight.
Boxing world was left in shock after leaked sparring footage appeared to show Keyshawn Davis flooring Shakur Stevenson. The clip highlighted Davis's sharp timing power and the brutal reality of elite-level training. Davis later addressed the moment, calling Teofimo Lopez a dangerous and skilled fighter. Having faced both Stevenson and Lopez in the amateurs, Davis emphasized that raw talent alone isn't enough. Speed, preparation, and smart strategy ultimately decide who rules the ring.
Against Shakur playing out, because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Tio is eventually going to start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Keyshawn Davis reflected on his sparring with Shakur Stevenson, stressing it was never personal, only competitive. He admitted Stevenson's counters landed clean while he struggled to find openings. Still, Davis kept pushing, knowing hesitation could be costly. The exchange deepened his respect for Stevenson's skill and reinforced the importance of pressure discipline and staying focused under fire.
They come. I'm confident. I'm knowing I'm about to go in here and beat him up, right? Man, I get in the ring, man. Why I cannot hit this man, right? I cannot hit him, but he touching me. So I was like, oh, this is different.
He different.
Like, he different. So I just keep, I'm 14, he's 16. I just keep going, I just keep going. So some getting through, some not, some getting through, some getting not. And I felt as if I was to step off the gas pedal, he was gonna get me. So I just had to keep going, you feel me? And I know he explained that a lot of times in interviews, like that's why he respect me so much, because in that sparring right there, I didn't respect him at all. I was just trying to dog him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Shakur Stevenson has maintained an intense and disciplined approach throughout his training camp, displaying unwavering focus and dedication. Every workout is treated with purpose as he sharpens his technique, improves his speed, and builds elite-level endurance. Beyond the physical grind, Stevenson places strong emphasis on mental preparation, carefully studying opponents, breaking down strategies, and visualizing multiple fight scenarios. His camp is built around consistency, precision, and continuous improvement in every area of his skill set. By sustaining this level of commitment, Shakur plans to step into the ring fully, prepared, mentally sharp, physically conditioned, confident, and ready to execute his game plan at the highest level.
To play time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. That's why I keep saying I'm the best. Niggas don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this shit so bad. So bad. Shit easy, gang.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Always easy, man.
You already know.
Always easy, man.
It's supposed to be a sprint.
Let's go.
This ain't no sprint.
No, it's a job. Let's go. We ready.
Keyshawn Davis reflected on his deep-rooted relationship with Shakur Stevenson, explaining that their connection was built from the start and extended far beyond boxing. He described Stevenson as a brother, not just a rival. While their bond remained strong, natural competition emerged, driving both fighters to constantly elevate their skills and push each other to new levels. That balance of friendship and rivalry played a major role in their development, allowing them to learn from one another while chasing greatness. Davis emphasized that their competitive spirit was always fueled by mutual respect and a shared ambition to reach the very top of the sport.
It's family, bro. Like, I'm never, ever fighting Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not even gonna feel right.
What were some of the experiences, like, with you guys growing up, like, as young men and young teenagers in Virginia? Like, what's some of those things that shaped you to know, like, he's my brother, man, I could never do that?
Yeah, the moment when I was like, all right, yeah, Shakur, I genuinely actually got real love for you was when I was going through my deep depression times. Even before I was going into the mental home, I used to tell my brother a lot. But then I started like backing off from my little brother because he was my little brother. I started talking to Shakur a lot about like how I was feeling and how I was thinking and what I was doing to myself. And Shakur was just giving me advice that I really like taking and like, damn, okay, I got you and stuff like that. And then I end up going to the mental home and, you know, like he calling me in there, checking up on me and stuff like that. I get out of the mental home, he pulling up on me, making sure I'm straight, making sure I get back in the gym, making sure I continue to do what I love. So.
Appearing on the Ariel Helwani show, Shakur Stevenson spoke openly about his highly anticipated matchup, with Teofimo Lopez addressing both the challenge ahead and the doubts surrounding him. Known for his sharp precision and ring intelligence, Stevenson dismissed criticism, questioning his readiness, expressing complete confidence in his abilities. He stated that Lopez has never faced a fighter with his level of skill adaptability and tactical awareness, suggesting this bout will present unfamiliar problems for the former champion. Stevenson emphasized that his focus remains firmly on preparation rather than hype or public opinion. He believes his combination of speed, defensive awareness, and strategic thinking will test Lopez in ways previous opponents could not. According to Stevenson, this fight demands discipline and composure qualities he has worked tirelessly to refine throughout his career. He also made it clear that he plans to stay true to his natural style. Rather than chasing expectations or engaging in reckless exchanges, Stevenson intends to approach the fight with patience and control. He highlighted the importance of managing distance timing and tempo, allowing him to neutralize Lopez's power while capitalizing on openings as they arise. By relying on intelligence over emotion, Stevenson aims to dictate the pace of the contest from the opening bell. His calculated mindset reflects a growing maturity and a deep understanding of high-level boxing. These remarks further reinforce why many view Stevenson as one of the most cerebral and technically gifted young fighters in the sport today.
I mean, that's their opinion. Like, you know, they could say that. But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that T.O. has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not going to say he's on the Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event, it seems like. I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him, but I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager,
Who's in as a well-respected boxing analyst and commentator, shared a perspective on the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez matchup, issuing a clear warning to Lopez. Ennis stressed that overlooking Stevenson would be a costly error. He explained that Stevenson's speed goes far beyond raw athleticism, serving as a strategic weapon that allows him control exchanges, avoid danger, and set up accurate counterpunches. Ennis noted that fighters who depend mainly on power often struggle against Stevenson if they fail to respect his timing and movement. According to Ennis, the blend of intelligence, rhythm, and velocity that Stevenson brings makes him a uniquely dangerous opponent and a serious threat to anyone who underestimates his skill inside the ring.
Apart. And I gotta tell everybody that Whitcomb is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Tio got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, they got the weight and all that. I see Shakur boxing big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like moves, he box heavyweights and put the heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
This isn't a stoppage.
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then it all according how Till come in. Till come at him. You know what I mean? He's gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now, you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So, could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just, like I said, speed is power. You know, not them guys, muscle-bound guys come in and they tell me, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks them out. And they always say...
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael offered his insight on the matchup by underscoring the accomplished careers and elite skill sets of both fighters. He described the bout as a classic contrast in styles, pairing Shakur Stevenson's technical precision defensive excellence and ring IQ against Teofimo Lopez's explosive power and fight-changing athleticism. Raphael pointed out that Lopez's ability to alter a contest with one punch adds danger at every moment, while Stevenson's discipline and control present a steady challenge. According to Raphael, these contrasting strengths make the fight especially intriguing, with multiple paths of victory depending on execution and circumstance inside the ring.
Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And, he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, and he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which was a fight, if you ever ask Bob Arum, he'll tell you that was a fight that Top Rank, down the road had their eye on at some point when they were going to be, closer in weight to each other, because obviously Teofimo had started off, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras. In that same Olympic Games, it was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other. They know each other for all the years being at Top Rank events together. They fought on the same undercard twice when the main event was Terrence Crawford, who was obviously very close to Shakur, but Teofimo was on those shows also. So, and they're doing it in the right place. This is not a fight they're taking to a place that doesn't make sense. All respect to the big matches they do in Saudi Arabia, but this is the kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think.
Former world champion and respected analyst Tim Bradley evaluated the matchup by focusing on its technical depth and broader significance for the sport. He explained that the fight reflects boxing's evolving landscape, where elite young fighters face one another to establish dominance and define the next generation. Bradley drew comparisons to Devin Haney's rise, noting that fighters like Shakur Stevenson represent a movement centered on skill adaptability and strategic intelligence complementing traditional power. According to Bradley, this bout offers both Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez a critical opportunity to solidify their standing among boxing's elite. He highlighted Stevenson as a standard-bearer for precision, speed, and tactical awareness qualities that force opponents to elevate their approach. Lopez, known for his explosive athleticism and power, will need to adjust to Stevenson's calculated, disciplined style rather than relying solely on aggression. Bradley also emphasized the educational value of the matchup for younger fighters watching closely. Stevenson's structured methodology and composure under pressure provide lessons in control and discipline, while Lopez's ability to assert physical dominance and capitalize on moments showcases the importance of power and timing. Ultimately, Bradley described the fight as a meaningful moment not only for competitors, but for boxing itself, illustrating how the sport continues to evolve by blending physical intensity with high-level technical mastery.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney setting the trend. Devin Haney setting the trend, yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's going to be working that hard, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any host, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock 'em, sock 'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you're watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on. All the fans at home going to be like, what's going on? You know? That they don't have the knowledge that you supposed to have to give us some food for our damn thoughts. So do your damn homework on this, okay? Oh, that go for everybody that's gonna be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's gonna be landed, it's gonna have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bring into the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle.
Another perspective in the debate centered on Teofimo Lopez's performances against elite-level opponents. Analysts observe that Lopez often elevates his game when facing top-tier competition, with his highest potential emerging only when fully challenged. Against Shakur Stevenson, Lopez is expected to perform at his absolute best, where precision, timing, and sharp reflexes become essential. This matchup is likely to demand peak performances from both fighters, pushing each to showcase their full skill set. For Lopez, success would depend on effectively combining his speed, power, and ring awareness. However, analysts stress that his natural aggression must be balanced with discipline and patience. Facing a technician like Stevenson, reckless exchanges or mistimed attacks could be quickly punished. Stevenson's mastery of distance, ability to read patterns, and anticipation of attacks further intensify the challenge Lopez must overcome inside the ring.
Lopez needs opponents like Shakur Stevenson because they are elite fighters. He needs that to bring out the very best in him. I just can't see how it's possible that whilst Teofimo, we've seen a ceiling with him in terms of he's been beaten by certain opponents, we know that he can lose in the ring, but I don't know if that's a genuine ceiling, because I think that his ceiling is actually one of the most changeable in boxing based on who's in front of him. And so actually, I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see the best possible version of Teofimo Lopez in the ring against Shakur Stevenson. But we should talk about Shakur Stevenson before we get into the nuts and bolts of the fight, what it might look like, and why it is so risky for both men. Now, Shakur Stevenson is currently undefeated. He's 24-0 with 11 KOs. He turned pro back in 2017. He's the same age as Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8". I mean, these are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than Teofimo Lopez.
That's all for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for what's coming next.